who's 260 pounds or better from the defensive line group. And Shamar Stewart jumped 40 inches, which is a half-inch shy of Landon Jackson of Arkansas, a half-inch shy of Mario Williams, first overall pick of the 2006 draft, and 1 inch shy of the first overall pick of the 2017 draft in Myles Garrett.
That's good company.
So,
yeah. Now let's get
forward to him, but we
got to adjust our eyes now. We're watching the big guys, and now we're going to watch the edge guys. So it's going to look a little different, a little more pop.
Tyler Barron is first up.
Give you the markers here in just a second after this run.
Already the 10 split and the 40 time.
So if you look at last year, top 10 edge rushers just in sacks.
Yes.
We're looking at a 4.62 40 with a 1.61 10. So those are what those benchmarks that you're aiming for here. Size-wise, 6'3" and 3/4, 254 pounds. So, and the interesting thing is we'll see linebackers here in a minute. This will tell you where pass rush is right now. The average 40 of the edge rushers, top 10 in sacks, is better than the linebackers that were top 10 in tackles last year. So you got to have some juice to really put up big numbers off the edge when it comes to getting to the quarterback.
Tyler Batty. BYU. He's going to have to
miss that one.
4%.
He's productive.
Start over again. Laces out. Talking to Dave Canales right there. Marino is here.
Okay?
Now, if this was
Mayock would ask for the pick.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
It would be requested.
You're not there picking off anybody, right?
Yeah.
Who picked you? Who picked you off that went to the Hall of Fame?
Well,
let's reverse it.
It's going to be tough. I don't know who Furman had it that year in those years, but the Wofford Terriers were a mean fighting bunch back then, but I don't think they had any Hall of Famers.
Just trying to reverse engineer what used to be an annual tradition.
Yeah.
And anytime we saw Marino, let's cue up Mayock picking him off when he was in BC and Marino was at Pitt.
Well, somewhere there's an accountant that's raising his hand saying there's video.
I picked off Daniel Jeremiah, and I can do your taxes. Let's see what Batty does now. There he goes.
7-0.
486.
So again, the number, and it is a brisk number that you're shooting for. It is high. It's impressive, but 161 that's what you're trying to get in that elite group.
Here comes Jordan Burch.
Now he's a tweener. Like you see his size there. He plays on the edge, but he has the size to play inside and do some different things there. So teams are going to view him differently and where they see him fitting at the next level. He's supposed to be really, really athletic in terms of the testing for his size. He stumbled. That's a good. That's pretty darn good.
Not bad for a stumble, running a 4.7 flat. At that size.
69 pounds.
And this is where Abdul Carter would have fit in, his DL 44. So we'll just go straight to DL 45. Fadil Diggs of Syracuse.
Talking to some of his former coaches. Now he started out at A&M and then followed his position coach to Syracuse in the portal. Didn't really lift a lot in high school, and man, he has just taken off and developed each and every year in college. That's a great 10.
And a great time.
We're talking.
Fastest 40 yet, 4.57.
He plays, he can run, and he plays with effort.
Two-time captain at Texas A&M as well. Ethan Downs of OU and our Sooner. Take it away, Stacey.
Oh, what a great segue, Rich.
Thank
Boomer
you.
Sooner. Listen, the athleticism in this group is spectacular. I was kind of sneaking away from the last group and peeking in on the verticals. We just saw Landon Jackson on the screen there. Landon Jackson and Shamar Stewart, who we know is an athletic freak. How about both of them jumping 40-plus inches at the vertical? Now listen to this. Defensive linemen to weigh 260 or more pounds and jump 40 inches in the vertical at the scouting combine, which is since 2003. Mario Williams, 2006, Myles Garrett, 2007, and the only other two, Shamar Stewart and Landon Jackson. Myles Garrett, I should say, 2017, excuse me. That is impressive company. And he was flying when I talked to him. I said, what was your target? He said, I was happy if I touched a 38. He went to 40 and a half. And then just on Shamar Stewart, you guys, he said this week, if you don't pick me, just know I'm going to bring hell to your city. I asked him 5 things. I love that, right? I said 5 things you've tried to impress upon teams while you've been here. 1, set edges. 2, fill gaps. 3, pursue the ball. 4, discipline and disrupt at the line of scrimmage, disrupting the quarterback. And the last one is just putting other people in a position to have success. Those 2 guys, so impressive so far.
They've been crushing it. We can't wait to see run their 40s because that vert measurement usually does lead to fast 40s, as we watched Ahmed Hassanein of Boise State run 4.82. And now here is Landon Jackson. Again, just to reiterate, there's only 2 guys of 260 pounds or heavier in the defensive line group who have had a 40-inch vert or more, and they're both number 1 overall draft picks. And 2 guys just did it. Here's one of them. Landon Jackson.
He's starting to really stride it out.
4.69.
It wasn't a tremendous 10, and then you saw him open up. And once he opened up, he can really stride it out. He had an awesome Senior Bowl game. Had a really nice game against LSU and Will Campbell as well.
So we'll run 40s while we're in commercial break and come back and show them to you. Big men heading for quarterbacks, running fast. 40s that you missed while we're in the commercial break. This is Jaw Joyner, Golden Gopher, 4.64.
Kyle Kennard, DL 55.
Kyle Kennard, South Carolina.
Very, very productive.
And he runs a 4.7 640. Sean Martin, West Virginia. .49 flat. Here's James Pierce Jr.
This one I'm interested in.
Back
as
live.
He plays extremely fast and plays explosive. The jumps were not great, which kind of surprised me a little bit. He did not jump higher.
Is he wearing a hoodie?
Yeah. He doesn't have the compression shirt on. He's one of the few that's got the shirt with a little hoodie action.
I don't recall seeing too many hoodies on the 40. That's like me running with my sport coat. You know,
parachute.
It's what I'm saying.
I don't think it mattered based off that start. Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep wearing the hoodie, James.
That's where the comparisons between James Pierce and Rich Eisen will stop.
Yeah. I think I run a 4.530.
Woo.
You know? Look at that.
That shows up on tape. He is explosive. His first 3 steps as a rusher, he goes. He covers ground and he goes, and he is relaxed.
Look at the hoodie flowing. Wow, Charles.
Yeah, and Rich, I actually saw a few hoodies in the first group because when they've got the hoodie, there's no numbers on the back. Non-hoodie, you get the numbers on the front and the back, and I think they just would like to see the flow of the hoodie in the back there. But Pierce, you were mentioning those first 3 steps, DJ. It's amazing because the leading sack guys in Tennessee history, they were much more power guys. Reggie White used to hold the record before, and they were powerful getting upfield. But Pierce, definitely much more like the sprinter we just saw.
That was impressive. Fastest 40 we've seen yet. 4.74 from Antoine Powell-Ryland.
Yeah.
Now here comes Elijah Roberts. Shamar Stewart's a couple away. Really looking forward to seeing that 40.
The bar has been set. That was going back to Pierce, that was an easy 4.5 flat. Roberts, he's a good player. He's got production. 17.5 sacks over the last 2 years. Miami transfer. He comes out of that 4-point stance and he explodes out when you're watching him on tape.
4.78.
He's big, 285 pounds, so much bigger than some of these guys.
Aaron Sorrell out of Texas, as we see Jim Harbaugh with his hoodie. And then we get Shamar Stewart. You want to call your shot with Stewart?
I will. I'll let him get up there, and then I'll call my shot. I'm excited to see Sorrell run because he can move too.
Remember, backhand, offhand goes back, 3 good
Here's
counts.
Pete Carroll back at the combine after a year
You got it.
out. Chit-chatting in the Raiders suite. Said this week he speaks to Tom Brady almost every day.
I just feel like Malcolm Butler belongs in that suite. He's gonna have just for the conversation piece.
4.72.
He's put together too now.
Okay. Here's Shamar Stewart.
All right, you said call your shot.
Yes, sir.
At that size of Shamar Stewart, I'm going to tell you, this is putting a lot of pressure on him by doing this. I'm going to say the second number is a 4, which is a stupid thing to say.
For someone who's 6'5", 267.
It's not, I know. I mean, it sounds stupid, but the way he jumped and the way how fast he plays on tape, and he's leaned up a little bit, lost some weight. I think we're getting ready to see something here.
40-inch vertical. Usually translates into a fast 40-yard dash. We shall see from Shamar Stewart. 10.
See, I should have done that to him. I mean, that's a great time. It's a great 10 split. It's a great overall time with the jumps. But I think he can run faster than that. It wasn't a pure, clean run.
We shall see maybe a second run from him. And
that's a great time. I mean, let's not kid ourselves.
Of course not. Of course, we should not sit here and put anything more on him, like say he should run a 4.4 or that he's got a comp of Myles Garrett. I mean, you know.
Well, this one can run too now. Princely can fly.
Princely Umanmielen. Charles.
Yeah, Princely Umanmielen. Had a chance to talk with him this week, guys, and you know, as a DJ, these guys always have an opportunity to come out early. And he said what really drove him to go back to school. He mentioned team goals first, possibly playing for a national championship. But the big one was he felt like he had something still to prove, and to himself, double-digit sacks in the season. And he got there with 10.5 this past year. And, you know, in his family, the name Prince goes through a number of different people, sisters and other people like that. And he said that's just their tradition in the family, and it goes back into their culture.
He looking strided out. That was a good back half there.
Stacy?
Hey, Rich, just an update on James Pierce and the hoodie. Well, the reason he's wearing a hoodie, he just told me, is because he forgot his other shirt. I would assume back at the hotel room. But it was a 4-5 unofficial, so clearly didn't affect him too much. And he told me he's, quote, smooth with it. He's going to run again. And I said, how fast do you want to go? He said, just fast. And by the way, that special tape on the back of his legs is just KT tape. Rich.
Thank you very much. That's Stacy going next level, as
Doing her
always.
homework.
I'm smooth with it. Why not? 4.7 flat
Good
for
run.
David Walker.
Good run for David Walker. Really, really
Out of
productive.
Central Arkansas. So we're watching very big men running real fast at absurd height and weight. Look out, quarterbacks. These guys are coming. 40s we missed during the commercial break. The second 40 of Hurricane. Tyler Barron improved.
That's really good. Nice time.
Let's see about Tyler Batty. one. Tyler improves.
That's
And
significant improvement. His game's not about athleticism either.
2 Tylers improve. Jordan Burch.
That was one of the more impressive runs at his size.
All right, we're 3 for 3 and improved second 40 times. Nice split too. Fadil Diggs.
He kind of had the under radar 4.57.
4.61's not too shabby. So we'll stick with the 4.57. James Pierce, the 4.5 flat, is the time everybody's trying to.
It's a good start.
4.73. Ethan Downs will stay with his first. And we're back live with the Boise State's Ahmed Hassanein.
He's one of my favorite stories in
Why
this
is that?
draft. He grew up in Egypt and ended up coming over to America later on in life. He's hasn't played football very much. He started playing competitive football in 2019. He was one of the top CrossFitters in Egypt, and then kind of discovered football as he came over to America. And everybody raves about him at Boise. They rave about him where he's been training. But they said what's funny about him, everybody loves him, but he doesn't know anything really about American college football culture. And he saw one of the guys working out, and he said, "So you go to ATM?" He goes, "It's A&M. I go to Texas A&M."
Well, if he runs like that, he's going to an ATM, that's for sure. 4.78.
He is a great kid and productive. He had 9.5 sacks for that Boise team this year.
Isn't that amazing? He's an Egyptian CrossFitter. He winds up in Idaho, and now is going to be in the NFL.
He's going to get drafted in the middle rounds and have a career as a professional football player.
Landon Jackson improves. He's still shaking his head a little bit. 40.5.
That's a great time, man. 1.65.10.
What's the split you're looking for like?
Well, I mean, the elite one
elite.
is 61, 161.
Boy, that Brandon Bean, the Bills are cooking up something in the back there. Look at the steam coming out of there. It's like a tailgate.
I hope that's food.
Yeah, right. Okay. There's John Joyner. We are assuming it is wings.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Own brand.
It's not a great start.
Better finish.
He made up for it.
Kyle Kennard coming up next.
Kyle Kennard's an interesting one, too. He was at Georgia Tech, and he ends up transferring to South Carolina. He gets 1 year to play at South Carolina, and to say he cashed in is an understatement. The SEC Defensive Player of the Year. He's a father. He's very mature.
Well, 4.73 for Kyle Kennard. Sean Martin is next.
All right, so left now.
From West Virginia. Speaking of, Pat McAfee's kicking off our coverage tomorrow with us.
Oh, nice.
You and I spent some time with him today.
Always an interesting time we get a chance to hang with Pat.
Don't forget Mad Mel.
Oh,
Do
he's
not
ties
forget
the
Mad Mel.
best.
Who's Ty? I only met Mad Mel today.
Offhand
Well,
goes
yeah,
back.
both of them. Huge fans,
Oh, yeah.
both
Good
guys.
count.
Yeah.
Freeze your offhand. Okay.
That was Vrabel.
Elliot Wolf.
Wouldn't that be odd if he changed his shirt? You know what I mean? Wardrobe changes.
He doesn't strike me as a wardrobe change kind of guy. Sean
Yeah,
Martin.
he wasn't into the whole thing about, hey, man, how's that hit you that you're Patriots head coach now? He's like, yeah, we're just evaluating players. Sean Martin,
I don't think sentimental is going to be on the job description there.
4.88.
Yeah, he plays in that three-man front, plays defensive end, and plays with
Okay.
long arms.
4.5 flat. If you're being comped with Brian Burns, you're in good shape. Let's put it that way. One of the best in the business. Now applying his craft for the G-men. Pierce running a 4.5 flat. Again, he's wearing the hoodie. I was commenting about that. Stacey Dales goes up to him, and he's like, yeah, I left my other shirt in the hotel. I'm cool with this. And he runs the fastest 40 we've seen today.
When you're fast, it really doesn't matter. I would like to see him get in the 4.4s, though. It's right, he's right there.
Let's see.
The card looks better on the draft board when that's a 4. It just looks a little different in the edge pile.
He's going to be whistled.
Remember, offhand goes back, then hold it for 3 counts. Your offhand went back and you took off. Offhand goes back, hold it 3 counts. You got it, man.
I appreciate you.
And try it again.
Just watch how relaxed he is when he runs. There's no strain or effort. It's just smooth and fast. I blew him.
Thanks, Dave.
Remember, this is your offhand. Hold it for 3 counts.
So you're fast. You just wasn't real quick.
That last one, I think Pierce shot him a look.
Yeah, Mark's caught a couple of those glares over the years.
Let's see what we got here. Getting the feet set again now. Four, 5 flat in his first run. This is his 3rd attempt at his 2nd run. There he goes.
He's flying, man.
And there it is. Crowd shows its approval for the first sub 540 we've seen here in 25.
He's smiling. When you're that fast, you can smile in the middle of your 40.
I'm cool with it. That's what that smile says. 40s that were run during our bill paying portion. Powell-Ryland this 40.
He's got production too. 16 sacks this year to go along with a solid run.
Roberts. Mustang. Stick with his first run.
He's a lot bigger than a lot of these guys in this group.
Sorrell.
He plays a little faster than that 4.7 too, and there it is.
Runs well. 4.68. Improved it.
He's got muscles on his muscles.
Here's Shamar Stewart.
He had a really good start the last time. It's a great time.
4.59. There you go.
His 10 time 1.60, which is elite.
Umanmielen gets whistled.
It's a great
And
moment.
now we're back live.
It's a great moment with him at the Senior Bowl. He was doing one of the one-on-one reps at the end of practice. Coach went over to get his name to announce who was going to be in the matchup, and he gave him his first name and his last name. And he goes, Princely, come on up here.
Long
He is
strider.
a long strider, is right.
He's 4.72. He's getting a first down every other step. Looked like. All right, here's the final 40 of a defensive lineman. And they're going to get out there for their on-field drills. Then we've got the linebacker group tonight.
You're going to want to stick around for the linebacker group, too, because we got some low numbers coming for that group.
Okay. Lower than Pierce's 4.47.
We're going to have somebody run faster than that.
Okay.
Linebacker.
So stay tuned for that. It's just after 6 o'clock here, Eastern Time. Sun's still out through the windows of Lucas Oil Stadium as David Walker, Central Arkansas.
He is relentless with the way he plays, with his effort.
Well, he just improved his time. Gets a nice little golf clap from the crowd here inside Lucas Oil, 4.69, which is nice. So let's see what the defensive linemen, the edge rushers, and a couple of guys who jumped straight up vertically very well. Let's see what they do when they get out there for the on-field drills when we come back.